What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a hump day edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock. Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Hope y'all are having an awesome morning so far. Got my workout in. Haven't showered yet, so workout to here. We'll get ready to get after this day. LSU basketball tonight at Bama. I'll certainly look forward to that. Tigers get a chance to move to 7-0 in conference play. About a 4.5 point favorite in this ball game tonight. Bama is different under Nate Oates than they were with Avery Johnson. They are an elite scoring team. I think they're 8th in the country in scoring. I need to look at it. I think they're the 6th or 8th. They're top 10 in the country in scoring offense. I need to see after this weekend. But you're talking about a team that averages over 80 a game. I think 82 a game. This is a team in Alabama with elite guard play. Kyra Lewis Jr. was freshman All-SEC last year. Phenomenal player. John Petty is a 5-star. He's an amazing scorer, man. So let's see if the Tigers can limit the turnovers, get to the free throw line, do the things that they've done exceptionally well that have helped them on the 7-game win streak. All right, let's say some good mornings here. Please share if you've not done so yet. Share the post. Always super helpful. We appreciate it. Kirk Taylor, Jason Truax, Charlie Cavell, Pat Huseman. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Calichi. There you go, Kirk. Calichi. Dylan Landry, what's up, my dude? Tommy Vienendahl, Josh Long. OTB wasn't showing on the Roku app. Huh. Don't know why, Josh, but good looking out. I can tell you, I don't know specifically with that, but I can tell you our whole radio group, guarantee, we're changing software systems. So the way we run radio traffic, and so when people say radio traffic, we don't literally mean like cars in the street traffic. Radio traffic is is advertisement. So the traffic department is the one that manages all of the spots, the commercials that run and the order they run, and making sure that the orders get fulfilled and all that stuff. We have a whole new system going in that does that, and the next part of it is our automation software, which basically feeds everything over the air that you hear. So all of that is changing, and it's quite possible we're going to have some hiccups in the next 4 to 6 weeks as we go through that transition. So that might, I don't know definitively, that might be what's going on though, but we'll check. Let's see. So what y'all got this morning? Another analyst is leaving LSU. Blaine Gauthier is headed to Nevada for a full-time on-field job. I believe that makes 5. If I'm not mistaken, it's 4 or 5 analysts now that have gotten full-time on-field jobs from this team. Goes to show you the staff that the Ed Ogeron had assembled, both the on-field and support staff, how talented they are when you get that many guys that are getting plucked away for full-time on-the-field jobs. Feel good for those guys, though. All right, let's see. Stephen Brooking, good morning. Jason Aguilar, good morning. Good morning. Brian Wynn. John Boudreaux, good morning from Phoenix. Nice shirt, indeed. Go Bears. Brian Ashcraft, P90X. No, not doing P90X. So I did P90X back in the day when P90X was all the rage. 2010-ish, not 2009, 2010-ish. And I liked it. I did well with it. The problem that I had with P90X was it was really just 6 or 7 workouts, and you just altered the order in which you did them, and it got so repetitive for me. And so now Beachbody, the company that did P90X, it's all an app now, and they have all these workouts on them, and there's hundreds of workouts that you can choose from. So, so if you ever see my story on Instagram or on Facebook, I tag Laura Ray in there. She's a relative by marriage, but she's one of the Beachbody coaches. So she kind of helped me pick, what like based on what I was looking for and a workout and get started. So I did it a year ago, and I had great success, and then I hurt my knee. I mean, from like January to June, I was doing awesome, and then excuse me, and then I hurt my knee, and then didn't do anything during this fall as I recovered from knee surgery and had kind of busy football season. But now I'm getting started again. So the workout I'm doing now is called the Morning Meltdown 100. It's 100 days consecutively, and it's a different workout every day. So it stays fresh. It's 100 straight days, and it's a great way to form a habit of like getting up and doing something. So that's the one I'm doing right now. Today's day 8. I mean, I got a long way to go, y'all, but my goal is beach. We go to the beach in around Memorial Day. I should be back where I need to be. So anyway, if y'all are interested in something like that, look up Laura Ray. She's tagged in my stories, but just you can look her up and find her. She's great. Megan Hurst, good morning. Kirk Taylor, Deborah Todd, Brian Ashcraft, good morning. Brian Penton, good morning from Atlanta. Be safe out there. Breezy Bro, AFR yesterday was awesome. Thank you, man. Harley is from my hometown of Little Old Rain. Is there a website to follow for LSU baseball for the latest news? Harley. Is Harley the guy who tweeted me the OJ thing? We were talking about Deion Sanders saying he wanted to be a head coach, and then someone tweeted. I think that was him who you're talking about. Yeah, I mean I'll check Twitter all during the show. And aside for LSU baseball news, just stay on Twitter and follow the guys that cover LSU baseball. Yeah, they're really good about it. Raza Shah, good morning. Long-time listener, first time live. Thank you. Appreciate that so much. Have a great day, man. Bubba Tatum, morning, Matt. Are we going to have any analysts left after this purge? Well, they had 15, so you lost 5, so you still got 10 more. Yeah, so you're good, and I'm sure they'll be able to add more. But again, that's a good thing. I know everybody freaks out when people leave, but it's indicative of the staff that in the structure that you've built. And you want an organization where people are advancing. Like, you want that, because then your jobs become more desirable. Like, I know that it feels kind of counterintuitive, but it's like you would rather have success and have people that are in demand, because then what that's going to breed is more competition for the jobs that you have available. So think about, like, if I'm a GA somewhere right now and I have a decision. So I'm a GA, I'm working for free somewhere. Would I want to go be an analyst at LSU or a cornerbacks coach at Delta State? Well, one of those is going to get way more exposure than the other, right? One is plugging me into a pipeline that is going to be far more lucrative, very likely. And it's just, that's how things have changed. So, yeah, man, I'd rather that. Give me those super ambitious, bright coaches that'll come and work as an analyst and then move on. I mean, I just think you're seeing a lot of coaches elect to do that. So, you're fun. Say I'm pumped about the basketball season. Looking forward to baseball. I'm curious to see how LSU basketball does tonight. They got to clean things up. Will took a different tact, as we all know, with how he was approaching this team. I think it was kind of he probably noticed some inflated ego after the win on Saturday, but he also recognizes what I say all the time, which is winning masks deficiencies, and that's true. Sometimes when you win a game, you forget, so Will was pointing out that the game against Texas was exactly the same against Utah State, which is true. I mean, they were away from home. They had a big second half lead. They turned the ball over a ton. They went into an offensive lull. They settled for bad shots. The lead evaporated. And the difference is Texas missed a couple shots down the stretch and LSU made their free throws. The opposite was true against Utah State. Utah State made a couple of late threes and beat LSU. So why do we feel differently coming out of that game? Just because their kid missed a shot, Texas kid missed a couple of threes, and Utah State made them. Why do we feel differently? I mean, the result was the same. The process was the same to get to the end result. Just it went your way one time and didn't the other. So his point was you have to fix that process so you don't keep ending up in that situation. So I'm curious to see if they play better tonight, if they correct some of those missteps. Sheila Strickland, good morning. Hey, Kelly Gross, good morning. Caleb Clark, boot up, Sconers. Brock Pendarvis, Brian Stock, Biscuits and Scone, good morning. Kevin Gleason, after hours, before hours, during hours, Brock. I'll hire Kevin to be a Brock spokesperson. Tyler Hales, good morning. Kevin, coffee, no disguise, burger, and shakes. Nope, got my protein shake, man. I'm going to go have coffee. I'm going to do morning scone, get showered up, changed, get Drew ready for the day, hand him off to Mimi in a little bit, and then I got a coffee meeting, and then up to Guarantee to do Locked On. And oh, by the way, so good news, not completely booked yet, but it looks like Faux Pelini is going to come on AFR. Some of y'all tweeted him like, hey, you got to come on the show. I replied, I was like, official invite, Faux, let's do it. And he replied, I'm in. So we need to coordinate on the time. But it looks, if you don't know what Faux Pelini is, it's a parody Twitter account for Bo Pelini, and it's got 600,000 followers. It's taken off to a degree I'm not sure anybody, even the guy who started it, thought. As a matter of fact, the guy who runs the account now has like an Ask Faux column on The Athletic. So like people writing questions and he answers as Faux Pelini. So anyway, so that guy's coming on the show. Looking forward to it. Gavin Blanchard, Eric Collins, good morning. Chris Keller, I thought we had an analyst going to McNeese. That's Blaine Goche. Yes, it is. That's Blaine Goche. I said Nevada. My mistake. That's Blaine Goche. He's going to join Frank Wilson's staff at McNeese. My mistake. Subaru. Tell Dr. Lalonde, hey. He did all 4 ankle foot surgeries at Brock. Dr. Lalonde is a great guy. Actually, a very big AFR fan. I don't think he'd mind me saying that. Chip Bankston did my knee, but Jimmy Lalonde is, he's seen me before. It was my Achilles. That's what it was. Oh God. I thankfully did not tear my Achilles. I thought I did. Thankfully did not. Did the MRI. This was years ago, but I was in a walking boot for a quick minute, but thankfully did not tear it. Ronnie Dugas, Tasha Thibodeau, good morning. Glenda Blanchard, Joe Ed Kettner, good morning. Josh Long, Beachbody Scone. Trying to get back to it, Josh. Last summer felt pretty good at the beach. Right now, not so good. The good news is I got about 4 months to get it right. Dylan Landry, Drew was wearing out K-Love last night. Did y'all see that block? Oh my God. Kevin Love posted up on Drew Holiday. Now, mind you, Kevin Love is a 6'8" power forward, 6'9" power forward, whatever he is. And Drew Holiday is a 6'3" guard. And Kevin Love posted up on Drew Holiday and tried to give him a shoulder fake and go up. And Drew Holiday blocked his shot. Stuffed him. Whew! Kirk Taylor, just a request. Always wondered what does it take to actually put on the broadcast. Maybe one day, behind the scenes look in the studio. You mean of AFR or here? I mean, this is not complicated at all. My phone is sitting right there. I open up the Facebook app and go live. It's sitting on a. I have a tripod. My phone is on, and then I've got my. I've got my Surface right here where I'm looking at the show and reading your comments right here. So this is not complicated at all. But if you're talking about AFR, I'm happy to do that. Happy to do it behind the scenes AFR. Maybe I'll do I'll mount my phone or a camera in the corner of the studio where you can see everything. and we'll leave it running for a whole show one day. That's a good idea. Might be interesting. People might like that. Let's see. Hey, Cheryl Wilkes. Good morning, Brandon English. Good morning, Matt. Going to pack the PMAC tonight. There you go, Brandon. You'll find this interesting. Last night, I was invited by Chase Parham, who is a Rebel Grove guy over at Ole Miss, does a bourbon podcast. He and another guy, Steve, who apparently used to be I never told him his last name, but used to be an assistant baseball coach at Ole Miss in the 90s. And so I was on their podcast last night. We talked for about an hour. We talked sports, we talked life, we talked radio, and we talked bourbon. So whenever that link comes out, I'll be sure to share it. Jerry, help wanted sign outside football ops for analysts. Man, I know y'all probably think that I'm blowing smoke or whatever, but when you have a season like LSU did, and when you have the success that they had, and then in turn you see the advancement from coaches on staff, if it's Aranda getting the Baylor job, Joe Brady going to the Panthers, Munoz and Dennis Johnson elevating. You have 4 or 5 analysts now that have gotten jobs and full-time on-field jobs. Do you know how in demand that makes you? Like, just think about it conceptually. Like, every coach in the country is looking, going, man, should I throw in an application to LSU? Yeah. Like, I've literally had people ask me, like, agents for coaches, hey, how do I get my guy in front of Ed? It's like, was it me? But point is, there's just a lot of interest, and that puts you in a really good spot when you have options and you can be selective and get really good people on board. I mean, think about it like this. Dan Enos was an offensive coordinator in the SEC. Their staff gets fired at Arkansas. He ends up as an analyst at Alabama. An offensive coordinator in the SEC ends up as a staff analyst, an off-field role at Alabama. Why? Because it's Alabama. And everybody tries to pluck great coaches from Alabama, right? And so then Dan Enos ends up getting the OC job at Miami or whatever. But my point is, like, Larry Fedora. Larry Fedora gets fired at North Carolina. What did he end up doing this last year? He was an analyst at Texas. Big-time program, a lot of attention.
Hey, Siri, go to Alexander's.
Hey, Siri, go to Alexander's. Hey, bud. You know what I mean? It's like there's just going to be a lot of interest there. And so I wouldn't worry about losing these staff members, because if you trust your coach and coaches and your administrators to hire properly and continue to hire good coaches, then it's going to work out okay. Let's see. Carolyn McClendon, Stephen Miller, Stephen Macy. Would you consider next year to be a rebuilding year for LSU football? So you'd have to clarify. Like, when I think rebuild, I think like you're stripping it down and building from ground up, and you're going to take a lot of lumps and maybe end up being like a 500 team. That's what I think of with a rebuild. And I do not think that that's what next year is for LSU. No. Stephanie Cortez, morning, Scone. I did the 21-day fix. Cool. I might do that next. We'll see. So I did, talking about the Beachbody on-demand workouts. So I did, I started with Transform 20 last year, and then went into Lift 4, which I loved. Lift 4 was 8 weeks. It was a lot more resistance, muscle building. I enjoyed that a lot, and I did that twice, and then I hurt my knee. And so now I'm doing the Morning Meltdown 100, which is really just creating the habits, like 20 minutes fast, cardio, weights, just creating the habit of doing something in the morning again. So it's been really good. Pat Houston got up early this morning too, but instead of working out, I watched touchdown highlights with Chris Blair on the call. So yeah, basically work out for myself. There you go. Get that bikini bod. I don't need no bikini bod. Whew. Robert Gremion, good morning. Luis Alama Kirklandrino, morning from Montgomery. Hey, Twitter world. Let's see. Kevin, my workout every morning is getting out of bed. Man, I'm not ready to. I'm 37. I'm not ready to beat that spot, man. Brandon Atchison, Blaine Smith, Toby Whitfield, good morning. Charlie, big 3 days for the future of high school sports in Louisiana. Great point, Charlie. Some of the proposals, so the LHSAA, the select, non-select stuff. There's a lot of stuff on the ballot. Some of them are absolutely absurd. One of the proposals at the convention is to force out all of the select schools. The public schools will force out all of the select schools, and they would have to apply for readmission into the LHSAA with no criteria. Just they'd have to apply for readmission and appear before a committee. And if they are readmitted, they'd have to go to 1.5 times enrollment. So their enrollment times 1.5, which means you'd have smaller schools having to play up in classification, which is just... And the thing is, like, it's all because of a couple of schools in football. But think, like, there's another proposal on the table where any freshman that goes to a private school outside of their zone would not be eligible to play sports as a freshman in even freshman ball. So, like, for example, I grew up in Shenandoah. Or actually, when I was a freshman at Catholic, we were in Old Jefferson. So I went to MBS, lived by MBS. My parents sent me to Catholic. But we're not in Catholic's zone. So as a freshman, I would not, under that rule, I would not have been allowed to play freshman football for Catholic. Bruh. I mean, freaking adults have screwed this thing up so royally. I mean, it's so sad. But whatever. AJ Holland, good morning. Carrie Hughes, Craig Schilling, Brandon Durr. What's up, y'all? Carol Fols, good morning. Lori Prophet, Stephen Robeek, what's up, my dude? Stephen Miller, one thing about judging from last night and all college basketball season, it's going to definitely be March Madness, and I can't wait. Tournament's a lot of fun, man. I've said it so many times. It's not the best way to crown a champion, but it is certainly the most entertaining. Ben Giat, good morning. Kirk Taylor. Mimi, y'all crazy. Kevin Gleason, you don't shower before doing this. Most days I do. But I just worked out and came in here. So I'll be all right. You can't smell me. Let's see. Mimi's in the house, Matt. You better act right. Uh-oh. Charlie, you trying to sneak in a Mimi joke. Hope Erica's not watching. Stephen Brooking, yes, let us know when go faux. Oh, gosh, I'm really behind on comments, but that's just a faux Pelini one. Okay. I'll try to go a little faster, y'all. Chandler Tullis, good morning. Kirk, tell Mimi she's the second most favorite person on Morning Scone. Sincerely, all Morning Sconers. It was E-Rock that got upset about it because she had coworkers asking her, like, what's wrong with your mom? And are they okay? For those that are new Morning Sconers and aren't familiar, there were Mimi jokes for a while because... Like when I was doing this and my mother-in-law came in and they ever heard Drew cry or he came in here, he's fussing. It's like, oh, did Mimi push you down? I can't believe Mimi punched you. And then she's standing right there. And I know, like, of course she didn't push the kid down or anything, but she oh, Matthew, they're going to think. I'm like, Tanya, nobody thinks that you're hitting Drew or pushing him down. It was just her. Yeah, I was getting a rise out of her. But then all the comments started about, Mimi's House of Pain or whatever. And then Erica's like, people are asking me what's wrong with my mom and whatever. So we had to nix it. Stephen Brookie, Matt, are you injury prone? NFL dreams dashed a long time ago, huh? LOL. I never was, Stephen. I'll tell you what did me in. I was very fortunate all throughout like my young life that I never had injuries playing sports. The worst, I broke a couple of fingers. That was it. Like this finger, my senior year of football. You see that knuckle still swollen. See how? This finger was sideways. You saw the Joel Embiid thing where his finger was like sideways. That happened to this one. But they just like popped it back in place. I missed a couple of days, and I played the rest of the season with a splint on my hand. But I was lucky. I never really had any major injuries. But I'm telling you, what did it to me was running marathons. Running marathons screwed up my feet, my knees, my back, my neck. Just it's so unnatural to run that long. And for all the training as well, just all of the pounding. So that's why now I love yoga lattes. I talk about that often. Like I'm not blowing smoke. I love yoga lattes. The stretching, the flexibility, the functionality. I love it for that reason. I feel so good when I leave. Hey, bud. Hey, you got alligators on your jammies? Huh? Okay. Here he is. Drew's here. Hey, bud. You tell everybody hi. Centrell's gonna come over. Yeah. Oh, my little boy. Love my little boy. So lucky to have my little boy. My little boy. My little boy. My little boy. I love you. Ooh, you smell like mommy's perfume. You must have been snuggling with mommy this morning. Huh? You were snuggling with mommy this morning, huh? Okay, I won't tickle you, okay? What? Why do you keep digging in my mouth? What? You got alligators on your jammies? Huh? Okay. Let's say hi to everybody. Let's see. Irfan, I've been trying to get this question answered for several days. Maybe the 18th time is the charm. Sorry, man. Does the volunteer assistant position work? Oh, how does the volunteer assistant position work? Do they not get paid at all for their first job? Are you talking about baseball? So, the baseball volunteer assistant? I thought I felt he was wet. So, the baseball volunteer assistant does not get paid. You can pay 2 assistants, and the third is a volunteer coach. Places like LSU, though, allow their volunteer assistant to run their camps in the summer, and so they make money off of that, which is a nice chunk of change, but it's still not... You can't make a living doing that, right? But that's a really good example, though, like what we were talking about with football. You know, about how guys will take these analyst jobs as a way to launch their career. Think about baseball with Eddie Smith, right? So Eddie Smith was a full-time on-field assistant at Tulane, a paid assistant at Tulane, and he left there to come to LSU to take a volunteer assistant role. But not every school has a camp system like LSU where you've got like 3 weeks of thousands of kids all paying $100 rolling through, and you're going to make a good chunk of change. You know what I mean? But if you're asking about football, the analysts do get paid. John David Mathern, repping purple and gold dots from, I guess that's Dead Soxy for game day. There you go, John David Mathern. Dude, post a picture of it, of your socks, tag me. If anybody's ordered Dead Soxy, they love that. They love seeing all the pictures on social media. So if you post them on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, tag Dead Soxy and tag me in them, please, if you do post. Let's see. Kerry Poston, good morning. Kevin Gleason said, good morning, Drew. Say hi, Kevin. Go to Mimi's house. Okay, who do you see at Mimi's house? Papa. And what do you get to do? Hey, Lee Feinswag. What do you get to do at Papa's house? You get to ride in Papa's big red truck. Yep. You want me to hold you? I'll hold you. I'll hold you. It's okay. I'll hold you. It's okay. It's okay. Shh. I got you. I got you. I got you. You can stay with me. It's okay. What? You can stay with me. Hey, listen. I gotta tell you something. Wait, shh. Let me tell you something. Come here. to see Mimi? Mimi's gonna. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. Okay. We're gonna finish Dad's show, and then after Dad's show, Centrell will come over, and then Mimi will come over, and we will get dressed, and we will bend your belly, change your diaper, get dressed, and then Mimi will take you to abilities. And who are you going to see at abilities? Aubrey and BB and who else? Miss Sarah and who else? Mallory and who else? Miss Margaret. And then after abilities, where do you go? To Mimi's house. Yes, you do go to Mimi's house. Who do you think's gonna come see you while you're at Mimi's house? Papa? You ride in Papa's car? And you can sit in the back seat? And then later, guess what? Then later, you'll come home, and guess who comes home tonight? Who's gonna come home to see you? Mommy, and then Daddy. Hey, and then when Daddy gets home, Daddy will eat his dinner, and then after Daddy eats his dinner, Daddy and Drew will go for a ride in Daddy's car to Alexander's! Can you believe it? Oh my God, he's so happy now. He gone. Got him. Let's see. Stephen Robeek, we did Beachbody also. Lift 4 is good. Did it 3 times. Yeah, I enjoy Lift 4, man. For show. Chad Dupuy, Locked On Podcast has been awesome. Thank you, Chad. I appreciate that. Look forward to listening every day. If y'all don't subscribe to Locked On Podcast, I really appreciate it. However you listen to your podcast, just search Locked On LSU, and there every day. It's about 20 minutes. A lot of fresh content. Sometimes I'll take little best of tidbits from my show or off the bench, stuff like that, interviews. Hope you enjoy it. So yeah, thanks so much. I can tell you in the last 3 months in particular, our growth has really started to exponentially scale, which has been awesome. So thank you all. Scott Santangelo, Jeff McKithen, good morning. Kirk Taylor, time for private schools to make their league and be done with it. The LHSAA is a shame. The tough part about that, Kirk, is there's only, I think, like 90 private schools in Louisiana, something like 93 maybe, in all different sizes. So you just don't, and really outside of the Catholic League in New Orleans, Catholic High, U High, St. Thomas More, there just aren't enough. And that's really the problem. And there's a lot of other problems too. Like the National High School Athletic Association will only verify or acknowledge one association per state. So for insurance purposes and things like that, you only get that national accreditation. Only one group can get that national accreditation, and the LHSAA is going to get it. So if you had a private association, there's a lot of hurdles. That's unfortunate. James Reed, good morning. Kenneth McCown, how would you fix the LHSAA? I would put all the schools back together, public and private, and what? My head? That is your head. Very good. Me. And then what I would do is I would go to the schools that are a problem or perceived to be a problem, Curtis, Evangel, and say, would you play 5A? Or create a super league, a 6A, and let schools decide if they want to play up in it. Nini, where are you? I just have a big problem with punishing people that do well, and the other part of it is JT Curtis, like, the problem was Curtis annihilating 2A schools forever. And then they played up to 4A. And, like, JT Curtis has said forever, and I respect him tremendously for it, that he'll play wherever. They'll go play 5A. Okay, so what are we doing? Take Curtis, put him in 5A, and let's roll. What's the problem? And people look at me, and they're like, oh, Mad Catholic. Blah. I'm like, we always lost to North Louisiana public schools. Like, we couldn't get past West Monroe or, I mean, Evangel's private school, but Evangel beat us in, my last game. But, I mean, how many times did we have amazing seasons end at the hands of West Monroe? Or in 2006, Catholic was like a top 10 team ranked in the country and lost to Acadiana, a public school. Like, Washita, Neville, I mean, public schools. Whatever. Let's see. Charlie, you better watch it. The Mimi jokes. I don't know if we can go back there. All right, I'm going to go quick because I got to get in the shower and get rolling. Rusty A-Bear, I got to get him dressed. Stephen Miller, watch out, Kurt. Stephen Brook, not a wide receiver, I'm guessing. What position? I don't know what you're asking. Sorry about that. Josh Long, absolutely. Who's coming off the top rope? Oh, y'all crazy. Y'all see, y'all are doing it again. Mike Touche, good morning. Stephen Miller, my man, love seeing some. Hey, look, everybody loves seeing you, buddy. E-Rock, we all going to be in trouble. Okay, put it back in the box. Drew Hurst, hey, Nan, good morning. Lance Falcon, good morning. Nancy Vogt, good morning. Pete Giardino, good morning. Let's see. Richie Burt, how to fix the LHSAA, complete tear down, take all voting rights away from principals that know nothing about sports. Now, I do agree with that. There's no reason for principals to have that much power over the entire association. Wes Campbell, good morning. Hi. Well, why do you keep running away then? Come see. What? Clap hands for baby Drew. Baby Drew is what we do. Hey, Drew. Drew. Here you go. All right. Shout out to Brock as always. Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. They are tagged in this post. If you would like the Brock page, that would be awesome. But more importantly, if you need an orthopedist, hopefully you would call Brock. Let's see. Charlie, don't have enough schools. Yeah. Let's see. Ryan Broussard, good morning. Joseph Taylor, Nashville says, good morning, Matt. What's up, Joseph? Houston, Carly, Mark Landry, good morning. Charlie Gale, Kirk Taylor, clap hands for Mimi Scar. Retro Morning Scone, how about that? Let's see. Dana, you are such an awesome dad. Thank you, Dana. Bubba and Matt, masterful managing of that meltdown. I definitely know the buttons to push. There's no doubt. Let's see. Kerry Hughes. We haven't even gotten to the best of Locked On midweek baseball games and bunting. It's coming, brother. It's coming. I don't know about the bunting part, but Jason Aguilar. I say we have a slumber party. Hogan, Superfly Snuka, Rock and Roll Express starring me. Y'all better stop. Kirk Peterson, what's up, Kirk? Patrick Case, good morning, Matt. Any chance LSU could also add Chris Richard as the DB coach? They got a DB coach with Corey Raymond, remember, and Bill Bush is still in Baton Rouge as well, so that's unlikely. Dirk Grazer, good morning. John Boudreaux, the LHSAA fears private schools break off and invite public schools that want to join. Again, maybe, John, and financially that would obviously be devastating for the LHSAA, and I don't think that's too far off. And I mean, and obviously you would know, but I think one of the major hiccups there again is the two associations, when the National Association will only accredit one, and to have all of the enrollment benefits of the National Association. So it's just messy, man. It's just it never should have gotten this far, and both sides are to blame because both have dug in their heels and made threats, and who loses are kids. Like there's no reason to have split playoffs in boys and girls basketball and baseball and softball. There's just no reason for it. There isn't. There's no reason for playoff basketball games to end 70-3. It's just anyway. Eric Hart, what's up, dude? Stephen Miller, perfect way to fix the LHSAA. Great example, Matt. Unsure why they took Evangel Curtis away from 4A and 5A schools. I don't know, man. I mean, Josh Long, Washita doesn't win anything, Matt. I'm telling you, when I was in school, like in '94. Catholic went up to Washita in the second round and lost to, was it Jamie Spencer, I think was the running back kid who went to Notre Dame. Big, bruising kid, physical, really talented back. I mean, in 94, Catholic, in 90, Catholic lost in the Dome to Ruston. In 94, they lost at Washita. In 95, they lost to, that was the year when Travis and Major were juniors. They lost at Memorial to Neville. Neville had a big tight end that played major college football somewhere. Then 96 was the great Catholic team with Travis and Major. It was the best team ever, and they lost to Tommy Banks and West Monroe. 98 and 99, my junior and senior years, we lost to West Monroe in 98 and Evangel in 99. I mean, and there have been plenty more West Monroe disappointments over the years. But point is, 94 was the year Washita did beat Catholic. Stephen Miller. Well, to be honest, you're playing against college freshman kids at West Monroe. We were. That year in 98 when we lost, I was in my junior year, we lost to West Monroe at Memorial. That was maybe the greatest high school football team ever. Andrew Whitworth was a sophomore tight end on that team. Rodney Reed, Brady James, Jason Ledoux, Marcus Turner, Brian West, I think, was on that team. They were absurd. Oh, whatever. Andrew Baer, good morning. Kerry Hughes, Matt, fixing the LHSA problem is easy. Walk in with your Catholic High shirt, yell it proud, and say, get it fixed. Would be the only solution. I'd do it. Chuck Sanchez, what's up, Chuck? I just don't have much respect for the LHSAA. And God bless, I think Eddie Bonine is well intended. But the executive committee is a total disaster, and he unfortunately doesn't have jurisdiction over them. I mean, they're all the ultimate say. Chuck Sanchez, good morning from Las Vegas. There you go, man. Stay out of them dispensaries, bro. Going quickly here, going to wrap this up. Grant, what's up, dude? LSU Sports Information Guru. Mark Abair, good morning. Kevin Gleason. We gonna party like it's 1999. Huh? Lenny Moss. Hey, Lenny. Good morning. Lenny lives across the street. Let's see. Mark Abair. I'm living in a cave, but Zona, LSU, Bruce Pearl, NCAA basketball investigation. Why is this taking so long? If they had something. I think it's somewhere down the line you might get. That's about it. Matt should take she whose name can't be mentioned to tag along as the enforcer. Y'all crazy. When you have double buys in the playoffs, it's maddening. Winning your state title after winning 3 games. I hear you, man. Flip side of it, Steven, the year Catholic won it in 2015, They went on the road and beat Brother Martin, who had a dozen D1 guys. They went up to Evangel and beat nationally ranked Evangel, and then went to the Dome and beat nationally ranked Rummel. Like, tell me that's not legitimate? I mean, I'm with you. I get it, but it's funny the people who would say that the select title is the one that would not be legitimate, when essentially the non-select schools told the selects, you're too good, we can't compete, you go over there. So basically this becomes like a super class, and this is the one somehow that's illegitimate. It's whatever. Brandon, I don't know why they will vote to eliminate eligibility for 7th and 8th graders. Some small schools need 8th graders to complete varsity rosters. I agree. But again, it's not about the kids. And John's right about this completely. Minor sports would be the ones that are hurt if split. So right. Like, but nobody thinks it was a competitive equity question in football that has now affected everything. It was a couple of schools in football that people felt were unfair. And my point all along was, if your problem is Curtis and Evangel, then deal with Curtis and Evangel. If that's your problem, deal with them. Instead, change the whole landscape of the LHSAA because you had a problem with two schools that were winning too much. Anyway. Adam, you got an early pick for March Madness this year? Nope. I don't. There's nobody that'll look at and go, man, that team is going to be a beast in March. Like, how does anybody get past that team? I don't see that team this year. Connor Brooks, good morning. Hey, Matt, is there a promo code for carriages? You know, Connor, somebody asked me that over the weekend. We had, I don't know if it's still active, but we had the promo code MATT, which gave free shipping. So you may want to try that. If you go order online at Carriages, try the promo code MATT, my name, MATT, and that should do free shipping, or it did at one point. I don't know if it's still they still have that code active. Eric Hart, I'm pissed I lost my top fan designation. I don't know why, Eric. I didn't do it. Bentley Spears, good morning. Let's see. John Boudreau, non-select school playoffs, number 1 seed, plays team with 1 or 0 wins. Which side title is tainted? Right? I don't even think about it like that. I just say congrats to whatever, I just feel the whole thing is just very defeating, Anyway. All right, y'all. I think we're done. Kevin Gleason, I don't think he could only do 20 minutes. Ronnie Duke, I don't see any top fans. I don't know what happened with that. Jason Meigs, what's up? I think we're done, y'all. All right. As always, shout out to Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Please like their page. If you need an orthopedist, they're the best. What's coming up today? So Locked On LSU later today. Might be a little closer to 11 today when that's published, but it'll be there. So Locked On LSU today. Stromal Swift on AFR. And here's Hope and Faux Pelini today on AFR. We'll see if we can make that work for today. All right, y'all have an awesome day, and we will see y'all mañana. Later.